Today I'm going to use some walnut ink that I made myself. I got the walnuts from outside and boiled them down. And this is pokeberry, and that's just berries squished, the juice squished out of them. This is coffee, and I'll probably use regular yellow ink, or I might use another man-made ink with this. This paper looks a little bit dirty, but it is really thick paper. I'll be using these rubber brushes, and here's some of these little brushes, and then I'll be using watercolor brushes. So there you go on that. Let's get started. Take water, just plain water, and add water to the paper. Painting on the dry, and it hits the wet, it'll soak into the wet. Okay, this is the coffee. Just having fun with this. Walnuts. Now, this is the first time I've tried on this batch. I've had this before, but this is the first time that I've used it since I made it last week. I didn't know how strong it was. Pokeberry. And now I've never really, I used this one time before. I just spilt it. That's okay. And what I'll do is, I'll have to use a smaller brush because my container's too big. Put a little bit on here, and then where I spilled it here, I don't know if you can see that, but just rake it around a little bit. Same with these. I like texture. I like mark making in ink. And now I'll let this dry, and then I'll go back over it, keep on layers. I'll keep going back over it to get some cool textures. Not too much, but see now, see, it's already drying, it's soaking in. Got the brown walnut. What happens when you go over walnut again? Gets twice as dark, it should. There's a lot more you can do with layers of the walnut. Same with the pokeberry and the coffee. Once you start doing layers, it changes everything. A little baby squirrel tried to steal my walnuts. So after I got done boiling them down, I put them out there so the squirrel could have them. There you go. Okay, I've got this brand of ink. I've got some Liquitex, and I'm going for it. Like that, and then just do that. But I'll probably just do this. I think yellow helps I love yellow. Yellow just helps things when you don't know what to do, add yellow. Sometimes I keep the paper white part of it, and sometimes I don't, depending on what mood I'm in. And this may not show up that much. Gold on gold. And maybe I should have let it dry real good before I put this on there, but I'm not going to. I can always go back after it dries and add more of anything I want. I like mark making. Sometimes you get carried away and you think, oh man, I should have stopped. That's in painting or any kind of art. Well, in drawing, not so much as when you're using color. It can get brown real easy. I found this oak gall ink my friend made me in 2021. I also have some speedball ink. I'm interested in the black, but I may use, there's some pen cleaner. There's red, blue, yellow, and gold. Here we go. Also, I have this. You have to soak this in water before you use it. I went 55 years of my life without knowing that these things have to be soaked. So, and I'm gonna paint with it. Ooh, nice. So excited about this. I think she gave this to me several years ago, and I think maybe this is the second time I've used it. Okay, while I'm thinking about this, guys, I want to tell you, when you lay your hand on ink or paint or anything, just lay your hand flat on the dry paint, and if it's cold, it is not dry. It is not completely dry. Until you can lay your hand on paint or ink and it feels room temperature, it is not completely dry. And this is not dry, but this painting has a lot of nature in it with the walnut, the pokeberry, coffee, and the oak gall. Not to mention the, you know, and store-bought ink and paint has natural ingredients, but it's not the same as making your own. Okay, this is my wet media acetate. You can buy pads of this. And I'm gonna try putting some of this colored ink on here to see what it would look like on there. I know what black would look like. Black ink. Got red ink, blue ink. Like metallic gold. So I've got the black ink, the red ink, yellow, blue, and gold. I think that gold looks pretty good on there. Maybe for the finishing touches. And then the blue I don't like. The yellow looks pretty cool. The red, not so much. I mean, you end up putting yellow or gold. But let's start with black. And I'm going to use this thing. It's soaked a little while, not very long. And put some black on there. When you're marker making, you go, I don't know what kind of mark to make. And usually I just let myself go and make marks, but sometimes I'll pretend like I'm doing some letters, or, you know, like I'm writing a letter or something. Now, some of you people are probably going, that's not how you use one of these things. Probably not. And it's not holding, I don't know if this is, I think I didn't soak it long enough, so I'm gonna let it soak. It's not holding a lot of ink. The longer you let it soak, the more ink it'll hold. But I like these marks I'm making. I want to put a little more black on it. Now, this paper is really good, like I said, and it will take all the ink I can give it, all the paint I can give it. And it's expensive. I think I got this one sheet on sale for $10 or $15. Really good watercolor papers. This is multimedia, but, and I use cheap paper a lot for other things, but sometimes I just have to get my good paper out. I want more black, more black, more black. Okay, now you're really confused, aren't you? Okay, I just need some black on there. I'm going to spread that out a little bit, but not much. Okay, now I'm gonna let that dry, and it's really tempting to go in there, start moving it around, but at some point you gotta start blocking things out, and I'm at that point.